Don't do that. That's not, I'm just trying to remember what we did. Why do we hide our underwear at the gynecologist?
Would you prefer to have a gynecologist or a gynecologist? The one that you stick, the cup that you stick up?
Do men care about what their partners for JJs look like? How to handle libido differences in marriage?
I had shiny toenails for like 2 months.
Hi friends, I am very excited about this video. I'm about to bring in my special guest, but I thought I'd give the intro first and let you guys know. I'm going to be doing some girly chat advice questions in front of my husband, and it'll be really interesting. He doesn't really know what he's signed up for. I just said like, hey, can you film a video with me? I'm gonna be talking about girl stuff. We'll see. I'm sure he will honestly probably have some wise advice. My husband is one of the wisest people ever, like truly. He just has some good wisdom in him. It'll just be funny to see if he has any good nuggets to share. I love filming these types of videos, but obviously I'm not a professional, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. It is just my experience or my husband's experience, but if there is something that you are going through that you feel like therapy would be helpful, I would definitely recommend talking to someone on BetterHelp, who is the sponsor of today's video. So I feel like if you've watched my videos for a few years, you would already know my experience, but I started therapy years ago when we still lived in Los Angeles, and there was just a lot of different things that I was going through at the time. A big thing was my residency and not being able to see my family, and like living in a completely new place with my husband, but like no family. I believe I started therapy at the same time as Gabriel because he was also going through some different stuff, and I thought it would be great if we went at it together. But it is just really nice to talk to like a complete third party sometimes, and talking to a professional who I also remember, like when Gabe was going through really bad depression, I was asking my therapist, like, please tell me, like I just want to learn, because I hadn't experienced depression, but I wanted to understand as much as I could of what he was going through. So having her to talk to about like what depression is and what it can look like and what can help, it was just so helpful in so many different aspects of my life. If you haven't heard of BetterHelp, they connect you with a licensed therapist. So first you go to their website, you can use my link down below, it's betterhelp.com/JessConte. You answer a couple questions and then they will match you with someone really convenient, like in the space of your own home, especially as a parent, like not needing to, you know, go out at a certain time, and it could literally be like while your baby naps. Anyway, that's just like from a parent's brain of scheduling and like doing stuff at home. Anyway, if you're interested, I will leave the link down below. Again, it's betterhelp.com/JessConte, or you can choose Jess Conte at sign up and that'll give you a special discount for your first month. So I'll leave that down below. Thank you again, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this video. Now, my unprofessional opinion and advice, and my husband's, my special guest.
Don't clap too hard.
Are you ready for this?
Oh, I was born ready.
Gabe was just getting some little gift cards, so we're gonna go get a coffee.
We had spare gift cards to Starbucks, so I was like, you know what we should do? We should use one of them, and then later in the video, we're gonna give the code for the other one, and whoever buys a coffee first gets a free Starbucks on us.
Okay.
Someone just has to go use it at Starbucks.
Cheers. We've got our drinks. I went with a iced green tea. I literally never go to Starbucks anymore, so.
Yeah, it is. I feel like it's been a very long time since we've been there, but decaf iced latte.
How to flirt with guys. As someone who's been married for 8 years, I feel like I'm not probably the person to ask.
What?
But
You flirt with me every day.
I'm trying to think of like what I actually did when we were talking and like flirting.
I don't think you flirt with me as much as I flirt with you.
I don't know. It's literally so hard to remember. I probably like made fun of you.
That's hot.
Don't do that. That's not. I'm just trying to remember what we did. But
I don't watch our first vlog. It was probably so cringy.
So cringy. I think know what they're interested in and kind of feed off that. If he's interested in Formula One, maybe watch the highlights of the last race, and then you have something to banter about.
Oh my gosh, Daniel Ricciardo's so hot. And then he goes, really? What are you doing? And then you go, not as hot as you.
Okay, then don't listen to him either.
Also, I'm almost 30, guys, so what I have to offer here
is
low. And it's not like it's low-hanging fruit. The value's low.
Why do we hide our underwear at the gynecologist? I always do and never know why. And I feel like that's a universal girl thing, to hide their underwear. And I think it's just polite. I don't know why we all do it, but I feel like you would relate in terms of like at a massage. Do you take your underwear off? No, you don't. At a massage,
Yeah, that'd be weird if I took my underwear
when
off.
I take off my bra, I do hide my bra.
I don't know if I'd care to hide my underwear.
But especially for a gynecologist, which is like all down there, the underwear is the least of their worries, really.
Would you prefer to have a gynecologist or a gynecologist? Honestly, let's bring it back to that. Why do some guys want to become gynecologists?
It's just the field that they go into. I have some friends who their gynecologist is a guy.
I would feel violated. Like, I wouldn't want a dude if I was a girl.
One time I had to be seen by a guy and a nurse came in, which was pretty nice. Not that the guy made me uncomfortable at all, but it was just like a practice that they did. I like a lady doctor.
Like, if I had to get a physical and someone has to touch my balls, it'd be weird if a girl did it. As a married guy.
Is that possible? Probably.
Oh, yeah.
Tampons, pads, diva cups, or other. Currently being pregnant, other. I only have liners because I pee sometimes when I laugh and sneeze.
I prefer a diaper.
Gabe picks diaper. I think diva cup still intimidates me a little bit, but I might try one day. Tampons.
Is that the one that you stick, the cup that you stick up?
Yeah.
Oh, that freaks me out.
I honestly just think with my clumsiness, and Gabe can attest to this, I think there'd be blood all over the floor when I pull it out.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
So
Part of the situation. I'm just thinking of, like, you have a cup inside of there. Do you just feel it, like, holding stuff and it's splashing around? Like, it's a cup with the blood in it, and as you're walking around, it's just like whoosh, 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 whoosh.
I don't think so. I don't think you feel it. But I don't like tampons either. I just don't like anything. So I prefer pads if I have to. I think once I get my period back, I might try the period underwear again. I tried that. Get real.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, I can't get, like, you know when you drink a lot of water and then you can, like, move your stomach around and you hear it going
I know what you're
That's probably
saying.
the same thing, just in your vagina.
Pick whatever suits you. But in terms of stuff being near my vajayjay, like even the pads and liners I get, I just make sure that they're like organic cotton and no like harsh chemicals in it and stuff, because all of that just scares me down there a little bit. Pooping during birth. Did this happen to you? Everyone is afraid of this. And we just took a virtual like birth class, and there was like a huge time of Q&A that was about pooping in birth. But I think what is more common actually, because this happened to me and happened to another friend of mine, just apparently it's very common, like the way that you know that you're going into labor is you need to go to the toilet because it's like making space. When I woke up in like bad contractions, I had to run to the toilet, and that was the first sign. Got in the shower, had bad contractions, and then she was born a few hours later. So I guess there's nothing else to get out. I know it happens. I don't know if you were listening to that part of the virtual class when some of the girls were like, what happens if it goes in, like this was about what laboring in the tub specifically.
Oh yeah, then you just have
They were
like turds
what
floating
happens?
around.
And the midwife lady was like, well, we just have a net and we net it out.
Just so funny thinking about someone just sitting there like ready with like
Ready?
scooping like fish toys. All right, brief intermission to give you guys some free Starbucks gift cards.
It's really not that large of an amount, so
We used it, but it has like $15 and a few cents left on it.
you're gonna have to screenshot it, but seriously, probably the first person to see this will be the only person who gets it.
There we go.
There you go. That's the first one.
This one, we have no clue.
We think this one has $10 on it.
In the corner, you can see up here, it says initial value, $10.
Any tips on how to cope with losing a best friend? I assume this means like a friendship breakup.
For a second, I thought that meant like a death of a best friend. That's a sucky one.
Like, hopefully, if you lose that friend, you have some other friends around who you can confide in and hang out with.
Humans are complicated. There could literally be situations where it's like nothing was actually, like you're both right, but it's just a weird, complicated situation, and then...
And maybe you guys just aren't meant to go into this like next season of life together too. It could be for the best. It's more hard like in the moment to like hear that. But I think also if you need to keep yourself busy, it's like a real breakup. Like if you can go to pottery or go to like a sport class.
I love sport classes.
What is it called?
Those are
a workout
particularly
class.
my favorite.
A workout class or somewhere where you can like meet people and talk to people.
Or
I
a
think
sport class. Those are particularly fun.
I think getting out of like laying in your bed, like in your own thoughts, getting out and talking to people, I think will really help. You're never too old to make a new best friend, is what we're learning at the ripe age of our late 20s. We have like made, like we feel like they're going to be lifelong best friends at our age now. So this one's kind of for you. Do men care about what their partners for JJs look like? Has that ever been a topic of conversation for any guy you've been around?
I know some guys do because some guys have seen a lot.
I see. So maybe they
So
have this like expectation of...
Yeah, I don't have any other context.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
I just feel like none of the girlfriends that I have or have been around have ever like commented on what a guy's one has looked like. I just don't think that's the type of conversations I would have with I mean, not that it's right or wrong. My friends and I just talk about different stuff. Any advice about dealing with FOMO, loneliness, or feeling left out? I was trying to think when I screenshotted this. When I feel FOMO, do you ever experience FOMO?
Yeah.
I think when I have experienced it in the past, I just need to like remind myself
that you weren't invited.
that they don't want me there. No, like I think if I was to go hang out with a group of people or go hang out with someone, I'm never hanging out with them maliciously thinking like, oh, we don't want this person there. You know, like that would never come up in my brain.
Yeah,
and so I think that helps me is just going like, they're not thinking about me in this situation.
Where I have FOMO is like if and when I can't go to the Colorado trip, that men's trip that I'm going on in August. That's FOMO. That's not because they don't want me there. That's because your due date is very soon after, so I probably won't be able to go. But I also have FOMO. But it's not like a malicious thing. Or like I wasn't invited thing. Like I was invited, I just couldn't go. But it's a bummer that I'd have to miss it.
I think too, sometimes it's like you appreciate the invite, you don't actually want to go. Like if you're a homebody, you're content with like being at home.
Yeah, but that's not FOMO.
But I think you can get FOMO from like, oh, they didn't invite me.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I guess the second part of that is like if it's loneliness and not FOMO. I think again, this sort of the same stuff that I was saying about a friendship breakup is like immerse yourself in as much as you can, a church group or a sport class.
Sport classes are it.
Go to like a pottery class, like go where nice people will be that you can talk to. This one really is for the girls. Favorite F1 driver? Don't answer this one.
I can tell you which one
Is yours.
is yours.
I have a few.
Lando Norris.
He's my number one. But then like naturally, because Australia, like I have such a soft spot for the Aussies as well, Daniel Ricciardo and Oscar Piastri. We just always root for Daniel Ricciardo.
Yeah, it's easier watching F1 races for you than it is for me because Ricciardo has not done that well. I mean, honestly, he's turned his form around in the past few races, which is good.
When your favorite person is not doing as good, then it's not as like nice to watch because you're like, come on,
like go faster, give him a better car.
Yeah, it's not go fast. It's just
It's
always the car's fault. Do you prefer having natural nails or fake ones? I think I prefer the look of fake ones because you can get a nice color, a nice shape, but I prefer natural. This is going to sound really crunchy, but I don't like the chemicals when you're sitting in a nail chair and you can just like smell all the chemicals. I know that was really crunchy.
Crunch alert.
And also I just like cannot, like how bad am I when I get my nails done? Then they just grow out. Like I really struggle with the upkeep.
Yeah. You don't go back to like keep them up to date. They like grow out, then there's the gap, and then she's like, oh, they look so bad. And I'm like, just take them off. And also I prefer natural.
Yeah, you like natural.
I really do prefer natural, so not on myself. I mean, on Jess, I prefer natural.
He definitely won't ever go get his nails done with me ever again, though, because one time he went and got it was actually with you, me, and Seb, and Seb enjoys a pedi. And
I didn't understand what the guy was saying. I'm like, sure, I don't know. And he buffed my toes.
Yeah, Gabe just didn't know what was going on.
Oh my gosh.
I've never been offered buffing, but I guess because you're a dude, you weren't getting any polish or anything.
I had shiny toenails for like 2 months.
And he's never gone back. That's when we lived in LA too, so it has been a while.
I literally wore socks everywhere. Like I did not take my socks off. Oh yeah, that was rough. I was like, my feet look ridiculous right now. My feet are too hairy to have shiny toenails.
It's nice that Gabe prefers natural, to be honest, but I should at least like file them or do something to them to shape them a bit nicer. But I always feel more put together when I have my nails done.
I don't know why. I just have like PTSD of like keeping my nails clean and short, and like they're never, you know, some guys will like let their nails loose a little bit.
So loose.
Especially their like toenails. Oh my gosh, dudes who don't clip their toenails.
Okay, I'm bleeding that out.
Bro, it's his toenail on his toe, and then double that is his toenail sticking off of his toe.
I'm not
And then I go, bro, how do you not get holes in your socks? And he goes, I have holes in all my socks. On his big toe, because his toenail sticks. When I'm in the sauna at the gym, and I'm just sitting there like whatever.
You look at their toes.
I'm looking down, sweating, like leaning on my knees, and I'm just sitting there, and all of a sudden a dude comes up and sits next to me, and I'm looking down, and I freaking see his feet, and he just has like freaking claws. I'm like,
I need to say, Gabe is like the cleanest guy I know though, so it's probably normal for guys to not do like nail maintenance.
I don't do nail maintenance. I just freaking clip my nails.
I know, but you do it a lot.
Every other week is a lot. Not even on my toes. I do it like once a month. The guys who let them loose, They're like they're pushing like 6 months without even touching their toenails. It's also probably a Latino thing. I know Latinos are very like cleanly. Like I know like Cuban clean is a thing.
And I know you got it from your mum too. Like your mum is very like orderly and clean.
Yeah, I just remember them specifically. Claudia, my older brother, always he would let his toenails loose sometimes, and they were they particularly grew out kind of funky, and they would always yell at him, be like, "Clip your toenails! They look disgusting."
Anyway, just to finish off that question, I think I am going to start getting my nails done for a little bit, maybe once or twice, for like when we have a little baby shower and stuff, just so they're like looking really cute.
Yeah, nice.
Okay, how to handle libido differences in marriage. I think the main thing is to talk about it. I think that's like the biggest advice, is just you need to talk to each other about it. You can't let it go on without the other person knowing about it, or like knowing how you feel, or like wanting to come to a resolution together.
Just understanding each other and where you're at, the needs of each person and everything. That's in general, outside of just libido.
How to still feel like you during pregnancy and be comfortable with body changes. You're asking the wrong girl. My awkward laugh. No, I think like...
You just open a can of worms with that question.
We have this reel that a friend of mine sent that I'll put on the screen that's really funny. Take that with a grain of salt. Obviously, like, being pregnant is obviously the biggest, like, it's such a gift, so I don't want to, like, be making fun of it. It's hard. I will say once I became a mum, I was so much more confident in myself. Like, becoming a mum gave me the most confidence I've had in my whole life. So even now, being pregnant for a second time, I'm still going through those, like, body changes where I am uncomfortable and, like, I don't know, my body just looks different. It's going to look different for a very long time. The reward at the end is the best part. Like, you'll have this precious little baby, and it's truly incredible. Like, once you go through labor and delivery, women are just rock stars, you know?
You really are.
So,
it's such like a selfless act, which is like, yeah, duh. But I mean, like, in like parenting as a whole, like when you have kids and your life is not just about you, the way that you're like pushed to like be a better human,
yeah,
and like better yourself is so cool and challenging. And obviously for women, it starts with the craziest part, having to actually carry a baby for 9 months and then give birth. So
he's just saying,
so you go, girls.
You're doing a great job.
You're killing it.
You are beautiful. Your baby is beautiful.
And it's for a purpose. And it's
Yeah.
making you a better person.
Yeah.
And you're awesome. And how crazy is it that you're actually growing a human being inside of your body right now?
I'm 22, never had a relationship, never kissed. Is that weird?
Freak.
No,
No,
it's
I'm
absolutely
kidding.
not
That
weird.
was a joke.
No, I know. Sorry, I was just taking a second to think about it. Imagine, like, to the girl who is asking this, when she meets her future partner.
Yeah.
I feel like that's actually really endearing to be like,
I've saved
"You're my
myself for you.
first kiss, you're my first everything." I don't know. I think it's actually really endearing, but I feel like there's this pressure. I felt the pressure in high school where like everyone's having boyfriends and I never had a boyfriend, and everyone's kissed and I've never kissed. And it's this weird pressure that you're like missing out on something really important.
Yeah,
But-
really what you're missing out on is getting your heart broken.
Yeah.
Because the likelihood that the person you meet when you're 15 that you're going to marry, sometimes it's happened. I've met like 2 people
We know
in my
a few.
life that it's happened, and they married each other, obviously. 99.99999, whatever the statistic is, percent of people are breaking up and having a crazy emotional kerfuffle, and their life is ruined for, not ruined, but like emotionally they feel like their life is ruined for a period of time, and it's like, you don't need to do that to yourself. Do not awaken love before it's proper time. It's in the Bible.
There you go.
Yeah, you don't need to do it when you're young, and we were young.
We were really young.
But it was like 19 and 20. Well, I was 21. Even then, that's like considered so young. So you don't need to do it like way before when you're in high school and like succumb to the peer pressure.
Yeah, you're totally fine.
But she's 22, which is sick that she's waited so long. When she finds the right person, that's going to be so sick that she gets to share that with him.
I know,
That's all I have
like
to
when
say.
it's the right person, I think he will actually find that so special. What prevents a guy from making a move if he likes a girl and she likes him? I only have like the most recent example in my brain of somebody that we know who this happened to, and I feel like I don't think he was ready for the relationship. Even though he liked her, she liked him, I don't think he was ready, and some may call that sabotage. If they like each other, I don't know. It's got to be that he's not ready, or he's nervous,
Or
he doesn't know your
this is
feelings.
this is like really blanket statement, or not blanket statement, like generalization. It also depends, like maybe he's not making the move because like he knows it's maybe not right.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Good point.
He doesn't want to, even though he's like doing the things emotionally and like obviously if they like each other, they're talking a lot and whatever. So that's already like not a good thing, especially if he doesn't, I'm saying that, not that that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing in the scenario that it's not the right situation. Then he's not going to make a move. So then why is he talking to her in the first place and playing with her heart? But there's just so many scenarios.
It's case by case.
Yeah, it's definitely a case by case. That's probably like, send us an email.
Last but not least, how do you let a guy best friend know you aren't interested in him without being mean? How do you? I think if it was me, I wouldn't want to have an uncomfortable conversation. I think Gabe would. He's very good at like just communicating, but I like avoid like awkward confrontation at all costs. So I feel
I hate awkward confrontation.
I know, but you're good at it is the thing. Like
thanks.
when you need to do it, you're very good at it. First of all, I would only do it if I'm definitely like certain that he's trying to make a move on me or that he's like very interested in me. Because you wouldn't want to make the friendship awkward if maybe you're like reading the wrong signs.
Yeah, sometimes you have to be brutally honest, not in a mean way. I don't mean being mean. I just mean like if he says like, hey, I'd love to take you on a date. And then you say, for everyone's sake, don't just agree to go on a date because you don't want to hurt his feelings. Like that's the worst possible scenario for him, for you, for the whole thing. Kind of telling him that you are interested and then you need to backtrack it by telling him you're not.
I know. I think if he has asked you on a date, that's like a very obvious like, I like you situation. You could just say like, I would really hate to destroy our friendship, or you know, I know maybe that's cliche, but like I would hate to ruin what we have as friends. I feel like we're so into marriage that we're like really bad at the dating advice.
Dating game.
We need to like get some of our single friends.
Haven't been there in a while, you know? Obviously, it's also dependent per situation on like what the relationship actually is like. If there's a friend group of 6 people and he's interested in you, and then it'll make it really weird the next time everyone hangs out because he made a move on you or just made it clear that he was interested in you and you turned him down, then things can get weird. Like there's, you know, problems can arise.
It's a tough situation.
You know? But you have to like be honest about it, you know?
Yeah, definitely don't like beat around the bush. So he like doesn't have a clear answer. Like definitely make sure that he knows. But I feel like we ended on a doozy. Sorry.
Yeah, that one's crazy.
Thanks for the girl chats. This was really nice. I feel like this was.
You're welcome.
Just so long. Thanks for joining me, honey.
Oh, you're welcome. Cheers. Mine is empty.
I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Peace.